In this session, we are going to learn how to use Maryland Online IEP for meeting notices. After this learning module, you will be able to locate the IEP meeting notice on Maryland Online IEP, complete the IEP meeting notice accurately, and print IEP meeting notices with the title of IEP participants invited to the meeting. To find the meeting notices on Online IEP, you must first search for the student that you want to create a meeting for. Once you have selected the student, click on the Meetings tab. Then click on Schedule an IEP meeting. You should be working with the case manager to determine the purpose of the IEP meeting, who needs to attend the IEP meeting, and how long the IEP meeting needs to be scheduled for. Once you have this information, you can enter the date, the time of the meeting, the location of the meeting, and the purpose of the meeting. Determine if your school team will send home the Parental Rights Handbook with invitations or provide them to parents at the meeting. If your team decides to send home the Parental Rights Handbook with the invitation, click that it is enclosed with the invitation. If the case manager will provide it to parents at the IEP meeting, then click is not enclosed. Additional questions can be directed to the program assistant, case manager, or administrator, depending on who your school team decides is the most appropriate point of contact. As you continue completing the IEP meeting notice, you need to select the date that the meeting notice is going home. Be sure not to select the date you created the invitation unless that is also the date you will send it home with the student. This date is unable to be changed once you have selected it and saved the meeting notice. In extenuating circumstances, an expedited IEP meeting may be required. You must select the box that states, "This is an expedited meeting that has been scheduled with less than 10 days' notice and was mutually agreed on by the parent or guardian and IEP team." The attendees section is to be completed by the family. The next step is to document if the student is invited to the IEP meeting. For students 14 and older, they are typically invited to the IEP meetings. Please obtain this information from your case manager. The next step to completing the IEP meeting notice is to add team members. Most often, you will select public agency team members. These are people on your IEP team that have access to online IEP. Or additional member. These are members of the IEP team that do not have access to online IEP. This also includes the parents. To add a member that is already in the system, you would select Public Agency Team Member. You would then select the name of the participant you are trying to invite, and then you will also include the title. Once you have done that, you will select Save. To add an additional member, you select Additional Member, include their first and last name and their title. Entering their email address is optional. Once you have selected Save, the IEP system will bring you back to the Scheduled IEP Team Meetings page. To print the IEP meeting notice, select the option with Member Titles Only. This will print the IEP notice with member titles rather than their names. It is strongly suggested that you do not print the meeting notice with member titles and names of the participants invited. If the IEP meeting, time, or date does not work for the parent, you can edit the meeting time and date. Follow the steps you used to get to the meeting section of Online IEP, then select Cancel/Reschedule for the meeting you would like to adjust. The meeting notice date will not change, as that was the date you had originally notified them of the IEP meeting. Once you hit Save, you will be able to print the updated meeting invitation. If the meeting needs to be canceled, you may also select Cancel Meeting within this section. Another feature within the online IEP system is you can send meeting notifications from online IEP. If you have entered all the participants' emails, you can use this feature. However, it is a school team decision, and the use of the Outlook calendar may still be the easiest route for your team. After this learning module, you should be able to locate and create IEP team meeting notices on the Maryland Online IEP platform, print IEP meeting notices with member titles, edit, reschedule, or cancel IEP meetings. If you have any further questions, you can review the module, contact your administrator, contact the special education department team leader or department chair, and contact a teacher specialist that supports your school.